Sister Mary Teresa Austin Carrol traveled from Cork, Ireland, to the United States in October 1856. She was a trained musician and teacher who spoke French as well as English, unlike most Irish immigrants who were poor, uneducated, and unskilled. Sister Mary Austin arrived in New Orleans in 1869 as part of a New Mercy Foundation after service in New England, Omaha, and St. Louis. 4 of the 6 founding sisters were immigrants from Ireland. They had been invited to minister to the Irish immigrants living in the neighborhood known as the Irish Channel. Here, Irish dock workers lived in crowded, unsanitary conditions where disease and crime were rampant. The Irish Channel was also home to German immigrants and French Creoles. This was not a melting pot of ethnic groups, as each of the immigrant groups had their own parish church where their native language and culture continued under the leadership of a priest of the same ethnic origin. The Sisters of Mercy began to educate Irish children at the Irish parish of St. Alphonsus and the French Creole children at Notre Dame de Bon Secours. Late into the summer, the annual outbreak of yellow fever carried by mosquitoes visited the city. It cruelly attacked the poor while the rich fled the city. Yellowjack caused constant deaths among the immigrant populations, leaving many orphans and elderly homeless. The sisters' efforts to shelter women and children left behind led to the establishment of St. Alphonsus Orphanage in 1876. 2 of the sisters attending the sick during the summer of 1870 died after catching the disease. Others recovered. Mother Austin's power of observation led her to believe that sisters who got a mild case of yellow fever and survived were immune to the disease. She assigned survivors to nursing duties during the next epidemic, while the unexposed novices were sent inland. Her theory proved correct. Sister Mary Austin grew up in Ireland when the harsh penal codes of English oppression were lessening. However, 200 years of unjust laws had created conditions of extreme poverty, hunger, and illiteracy among the Irish. She was passionate about helping the Irish who chose to immigrate and extended this compassion to the freed slaves and their children whose ancestors had been unwilling immigrants. Mother Austin felt called to minister to both groups by providing schools. Her first school for African Americans in New Orleans was burned down twice. She rebuilt it for a 3rd time, attached to the convent, and it was left standing. Between 1821 and 1920, 4.5 million Irish immigrated to America. Most were young and single and opted to settle in cities rather than on farms. Their descendants became the largest of any immigrant group in the American Catholic Church.